Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Snowbeck and we have just covered sections 3.1 and 3.2, so we're going to get ready for a small quiz. And so today is review to get ready for that quiz. Would you please pause the video and I want you to try to draw these 6 items. And then when you're done, unpause the video and see if you got them right. So the first one is a right triangle. A right triangle has to have one 90-degree corner in it. Number 2, an acute triangle. An acute triangle has to have all 3 angles smaller than 90 degrees. So I suppose we could put some numbers in here like 50, 60, and 70. That adds up to 180, but they are all less than 90 degrees. So that would make it an acute triangle. Now yours might look slightly different than that. An obtuse triangle has to have one angle that's greater than 90 degrees. So maybe this is like 110 degrees, something like that. A scalene triangle. Scalene triangles have to have sides that are 3 different lengths. So none of the 3 sides are the same. An isosceles triangle has 2 sides that are the same, and then the third side is different. And equilateral triangle, all 3 sides are the same length. Now equilateral triangles are also equiangular, so technically all 3 of these angles would also be the same if it's equilateral. Please pause the video and try this next problem. So name all the congruent angles. Angle C matches up with angle S. So angle C is congruent to angle S. Angle B is congruent to angle M because they're both the middle letters. And that leaves angle X is congruent to angle L. Name all the congruent sides. So one side would be side CB. So side CB, which is the first 2 letters, would be congruent to side SM. And then another side would be side BX. And side BX, well, B and X are the last 2 letters, so that's going to match up with M and L. So that's congruent to side ML. And then the third side would be from C to X. If you have a hard time visualizing this, you can draw the 2 triangles and label them like CBX, SML. And then you can see, like we did, CB is the same as SM, and we did BX is the same as ML. So now we have side CX, and side CX is going to be congruent to side SL. Please pause the video and try number 2. Remember, the angles in every triangle add up to 180. 180 minus 90, this is 90, minus 14, I think is 76. So X equals 76. Find X, Y, and Z. Please pause the video. Give it a try. When you're done, unpause the video. So to find X, I'm going to use this top triangle. And in every single triangle, the 3 corners add up to 180. So if I take 180 minus the 60 minus the 50, there's 70 left. So X is 70 degrees. Now, Y, think about these 2 angles right here. When you have an X like this, they're called vertical angles if they're right across from each other. And they will be the same size. So Y is 50 degrees. And then finally, to find Z, we're going to do 180 minus 75 minus 50. We're going to use this bottom triangle down here. And the 3 corners must add up to 180. So 180 minus 75 minus 50 is 45. So Z is 45 degrees. Please pause the video and try number 4. So the shortcut is these two angles add up to x. So the shortcut is you can do 42 plus 52 and you get 94, and 94 is your answer. But if you forgot about that shortcut, or if you didn't know about it, another thing you could do is you could do 180 minus 52 minus 42. That is 86. And so this corner right here is 86. But think about these two together. These two together should add up to 180. So then 180 minus 86 is 94. So either way you get it is fine, but 94 is your final answer. Please pause the video, try number 5. When you're done, unpause the video. So the shortcut to find the measure of angle 1 is you would add 50 plus 80 and you'd get 130. But if you forgot that shortcut, remember one thing you can do is you can do 180 minus 80 minus 50, and you have 50 left, and that would be this corner because the triangle has to add up to 180. Then these two together add up to 180, so 180 minus 50 is 130. So angle 1 is 130 degrees. Angle 2, I want you to think about the x right here, and this angle should be the same. And so angle 2 is 50 degrees. It's the same as the angle across from it. For angle 4, I want you to think about these two angles together. We're skipping angle 3 for a minute. We'll come back to that. You don't have to go in order. But angle 4 and the 100 should add up to 180. So if you subtract 100, that means you have 80 left for angle 4. And then the one across from it is also 80. So that helps you find angle 3, because now if we go to angle 3, we can use this green triangle. And in that green triangle, the 3 corners must add up to 180. So I think we've actually already done this. We've done 180 minus 80 minus 50, and you have 50 left. So angle 3 is 50. And that leaves us with angle 5. The shortcut is to add the 80 and 30 from this triangle up here on top. But what we're going to do is I'll show you the other way as well. So if you do 180 minus the 80 minus the 30. So in other words, if you use this blue triangle over here and you subtract the 80 and the 30, then you're left with 70. So 70 is this corner inside, but the 70 and the 5 have to add up to 180. So 180 minus 70 is 110. Angle 5 is 110 degrees. Classify this triangle by its angles and its sides. So take a look at the angles first. What kind of triangle is this triangle based on the angle measures? If you noticed you have a 90 degree here, you would say it is a right triangle. Next, you have to classify it by its sides, its angles and its sides. So the 3 sides are all different. We have 3, 4, and 5. That means it is scalene. So it is a right scalene triangle. Notice the tick marks. Please take a minute, pause the video, try number 7. So this is an isosceles triangle because 2 sides are equal. So 3y minus 1 should equal y plus 13 because we have this and this. So those two are the same size. Subtract your y. add 1, divide by 2. So it says find y and the length of all three sides. So we have y is 7, but now we have to plug it in, and we have to plug it in here, we have to plug it in here, and we have to plug it in here, all three places. So 3 times 7 minus 1 is 20, and that's going to be QR. And then 7 plus 13 is 20, and that's RS, distance from R to S. And then 4 times 7 plus 2 is 30, and that is QS. Please pause the video, try number 8. So you can either start with angle 1 or angle 3, but I don't think you can find angle 2 first. Let's start with angle 1. We know something about these two angles up top. They should add up to 180. They're a linear pair. So 180 minus 80 is 100. So this is the measure of angle 1. This is 100 degrees. Let me make that a little better. 100 degrees. So now we could find angle 2. So if you think about this triangle on the right, I'll outline it in blue. Those three angles inside of there need to add up to 180. So 180 minus 100 minus 45. That leaves 35. And so angle 2 down here is 35 degrees. And then last but not least, we have angle 3. And if I outline this left triangle in green, think of that triangle. The three corners are going to add up to 180. So 180 minus the 80 minus the 32 is 68. So angle 3 down here is 68 degrees. Please pause the video and give this one a try. So one way to do this is using the shortcut. You could do x plus 20 equals 113 and then subtract 20 and figure out what x is. Or you might think about these two adding up to 180. So 180 minus 113 is 67. So this ends up being 67 degrees. Once you know that, then you can use the triangle, and in the triangle it's going to be 180 minus 67 minus 20, which is 93. So x is 93. Last one. Please pause the video, read the question, and try to draw the picture. It says WXY is an equilateral triangle, so I can put a tick mark on each side. And it says side WX is 6x minus 10. XY is 2x plus 10. And WY is 4x. So that's what your picture should look like. Okay, now please pause the video again and try to solve it for x. So you pick any two sides, but not all three. So maybe I'll pick this one and this one, because all three sides are equal, but you only need to set two of them in the equation. So 6x minus 10 equals 2x plus 10. Now we can solve this. divide by 4. X is 5. Okay, now pause the video one more time and plug it in and see if you can find the length of all the different sides, all 3 sides. So you have to take the 5 and you have to plug it in for there, there, and there. Okay, so 6 times 5 minus 10 is 20, and that is side WX. And then we have 2 times 5 plus 10 is 20, and that is for XY. And then we have 4 times 5, which is 20, and that's for WY. So we got 20, 20, 20, which makes sense because it is supposed to be equilateral. Great, it's time to do the assignment, which is worksheet 3.1 to 3.2 review. Give it a really good try. The answers will be posted in Schoology, so when you're done, check your answers and see if they look correct. And then, if you're feeling pretty good, it's time to try the quiz. So the other part of your assignment is to take Unit 3.1 to 3.2 quiz. So you have 2 things to do, the review assignment and the quiz. If you get stuck or have questions, please let me know. Good luck.